to the June episode of Animal Tales TV, the show about Oklahoma City's animals and the people who love them. I'm Julie Bank, the Superintendent of Animal Welfare for the City of Oklahoma City. And with me is my beautiful co-host, Lena. Lena came into the shelter as a stray. We're hoping to find her a really wonderful new family today to call her own. She is a sweet little girl. As you can see, she's pretty inquisitive. She's got a great disposition. And I think with a little bit of training, she is going to be the perfect pet for your family. She's just like all the other animals at the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter. Now, we have a terrific show in store for you. We're going to speak about animal behavior and why things like dog training and communication and learning how to read animals is an important thing to strengthen the relationship between you and your dog. We're also going to talk about animal control issues in the community and how the summer impacts the work that we do every day and, more importantly, impacts animals and the relationship that we have with them. It's also that time of the year when the weather is going to start getting hot. So we're going to give you some really important tips to keep your animals safe during the warm weather. And we encourage you to stay tuned with us and to learn all about the important things that we just discussed. But right now, I'd like to turn this over to show you some animal welfare success stories.
You know, I give, and it's just never enough.
Seriously?
When people take you for granted, what can you do?
Water the grass, not the street!
Using drought-tolerant plants, watering early in the morning, adding some mulch, it's not that hard. If we want to use our water wisely, we gotta squeeze more out of every drop.
SqueezeEveryDrop.com. Oh, I gotta go. I got a date with a lake.
Did you know that the arts make a significant impact on education, the economy, and our quality of life in Oklahoma? Providing more than 10,000 jobs statewide, filtering more than $314 million into our economy? Yes, the arts create all kinds of beautiful things. And making Oklahoma an even better place to live is the most beautiful thing of all. It doesn't take a big donation to make big things happen. Support Allied Arts today. A little give is all it takes.
With me is Annabelle Connor from A New Leash on Life, and we're going to chat about dog training and other available resources for individuals with their pets. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about A New Leash on Life and what it is and what you do there.
A New Leash on Life is a nonprofit 501c. We train dogs for people with disabilities, service animals. We also have a therapy dog program that we train dogs that want people with their pets that want to take them into hospitals, nursing homes, etc. We also have a prison program where we work with rescue dogs and the inmates, training the dogs for 10 weeks at a time under our supervision.
And you have a nice space that people can use for things like dog training and agility and other programs like that as well,
right?
We
do pet dog training also in all different kinds of venues, and there's lots of different clubs and organizations that share that space with us.
So recently, the Oklahoma City Animal Welfare entered into a really neat partnership with your organization, and it's all about making people more responsible pet owners, and it's all about dog behavior. And why is that such an important topic?
Well, we find that if people understand why dogs do what they do and how they learn, they can communicate better. We're all about fixing the communication gap between people and their animals, because people have to learn to speak dog and animals have got to learn a little human language, and it's all about communication. And if you can bond and communicate with an animal, it's the most wonderful experience, and you'll keep that animal for life.
So what happens if you don't?
They get all kinds of behavioral problems that you don't understand, and dogs that start out in the house will end up in a room, then end up in a crate, then end up in the backyard, and then in your shelter.
Right, and part of our goal is always to try to keep animals out of the
right.
shelter and in people's homes and to strengthen the human-animal bond. So programs
Right.
like you have to offer can help with that a whole
They
lot.
really can, because it's always about miscommunication, just like with people.
So let's talk about some of the things that you guys offer to pet owners in Oklahoma City. I mean, first, the behavior helpline. That is something that we
Yes.
use a lot. We have it on our phone script. We have it on our website. We give it to all new adopters. But tell us what it is.
Well, you can call there and get free advice and find out what to do about the different problems that your dog might be having, things you don't understand, things you don't understand how to fix them. And we'll send you somewhere, or we'll give you advice, or get you into a class, or we'll send a trainer. Just depends on what you need.
Well, you'll actually send a trainer to people's houses
We have.
to
Now
help with that?
there is a charge if it's a private trainer. Just depends on who decides to do it. Some of us do it for free.
That's incredible. We've also started a new workshop at the shelter called Your New Dog Workshop. Very creative name that we have there, but it really says what it is.
Yes, it does.
And it's going to be held how often and exactly what is it?
Once a month on Saturdays, 11 o'clock at the first of the month, first Saturday of the month. And we will help with any kind of problems there or any kind of questions people have. We're just really trying to keep people with their pets and get them educated in how to take better care and communicate.
So they don't have to RSVP for that, right? They could
No,
just
they
come
just
on
show up.
down and just quickly some of the things that they're going to learn at that.
Well, I know the first one that we were talking about it, that somebody had a housebreaking problem. It's a huge issue. You really don't think about it too much if you've never had that problem with a dog, but it can be a very frustrating issue. And so this first person, of course, had a puppy, was wanting to know how to house train. And we can teach you that, give you handouts on that, all kinds of information to make your life a little easier, hopefully, and the dogs too.
And so it's generally designed for either the new pet owner or the person who just got a pet and needs some help.
Right. That's primarily, but anybody's welcome.
Perfect, perfect. So you were so excited about our new partnership, and we're really hoping that the work that we collectively do is going to make a difference in the lives of the animals that we're seeing at the animal shelter.
Yes.
One final thought on what do you think is the number one tip that you can give to people to be a responsible pet owner with their dog?
Well, the first thing is to get them spayed or neutered. That's just one thing. A behavioral tip, as I say, if you don't know how to train your dog, get your dog in a class. Learn how to train a dog. You don't have to always be in a class, but learn how to do it right and learn about the behavior.
Right, and again, to learn about the communication between you and your pet.
Exactly. Learn how to do that.
Thanks again for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And right now, I'm going to turn this over for us to take a look at some animal welfare selfies, and we like to call them Welfies.
I give, and it's just never enough.
Seriously?
When people take you for granted, what can you do?
Water the grass, not the street.
Using drought-tolerant plants, watering early in the morning, adding some mulch, it's not that hard. If we want to use our water wisely, we got to squeeze more out of every drop.
SqueezeEveryDrop.com. Oh, I gotta go. I got a date with a lake.
Down here. That dog has a thirsty look in his eye. Did you know that it's really not that hard to save water? Like here in the sink. Don't make me run too much. Could somebody shut me off? Now this is my kind of party. A full house. Let's roll. Hey, we're in a drought, which means I'm kind of a big deal. So save me. Really? Save me!
Joining me now is our unit supervisor for field operations of the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter, John Gary. And John, who is this bundle of fur?
This is Thomas. Thomas is about a 3-month-old collie mix. You can see he's full of energy, loves to play, and he is currently available for adoption at the shelter.
And he's a silly goose, I could see, but he's a good boy, typical puppy, right?
Yes, definitely typical puppy.
Now, John, we are here to talk about animal control and how the summer impacts the work that we do. First of all, you're the new unit supervisor for field services, so we're so excited that you're going to be taking over that role. What made you decide that you wanted to do that kind of work?
Well, I've been at the shelter almost 17 years now, and I've always been involved in the shelter side of it, spent some time as operations manager there. And so I just thought it was a good chance for me to do something a little different and still be able to be close to the animals and be involved.
So you talk about differences, and there's a lot of different type of things that the animal control units do. But we want to talk about the summer. What changes in the summer from the rest of the year?
A lot of things change during the summer. Our call volume in general increases, and that's in all areas, from just our stray animal dog calls to the number of bites that we receive to the number of cruelty cases that we work. So we see an increase in just about every type of call that we run during the summer months.
And why would those increase? I mean, what about the summer makes things different than the rest of the year?
The nicer weather obviously gets people outside, so they notice things more. Especially in the cruelty type situations, we deal with a lot of dogs in cars and heat, dogs without water, those kind of things, dogs stuck out in the heat, not with shelter or shade to get in. And then we also, our stray dogs, obviously, in the nicer weather, they're out, they're roaming, and so the people are noticing them more, and so therefore we get more calls on them. So
let's talk a little bit about puppies and how the birth of these puppies actually impacts the work that you do too.
Correct. This time of year, obviously we refer to as puppy and kitten season, and we see a tremendous amount more puppies and kittens through this time of year, through the entire summer months. We see a good increase usually in about late spring, about now, into early summer, and then we'll continue that throughout the summer months.
Now, I know we also see an increase in animal cruelty calls during the summer months. Why would that be the case?
Once again, I just think more people are out. They notice more things and see more things that are going on. Heat has a lot to do with it. We get a lot of calls for dogs stuck in cars or dogs in the backyard without water or access to shelter, and so we receive a lot of calls just to check up on them.
So let's talk a little bit about dogs in cars. So you already said that we have a lot of that. What should somebody do if they see an animal left in the car and it's too hot or even too cold out?
If they see an animal left in a car, they definitely want to contact us at our number at 297-3100. Hit the button to get to our dispatch and report it. Those are the type of calls that we tend to send officers out immediately because there's a large danger to the animals that are in those cars.
So what can people do to keep animals safe in the summertime?
The best thing to keep them safe is, one, make sure they're confined. Plenty of water. During the hot months, they need even more water than they do the rest of the time of year. And then I'd give them access to inside. Get them out of the heat and let them be inside with the family as much as possible and keep them cool.
Cool. And one final thing about the work that you do or about animal control services and how we can help the citizens of the community.
I think the most important thing for us as animal control officers is, one, keeping your animal confined and being a responsible pet owner. And that involves everything from keeping the animal tagged and microchipped so if it gets lost, you're able to find it, as well as just helping us to keep the community safe and not having animals out that there's potential to bite.
So one more time, our website and our phone number for people to call if they need help or if they see an animal that needs help.
They can visit us on our website at www.okc.gov/animal welfare, or they can contact us by phone at 297-3100.
And then when you press that number, you're going to press 4 to get to dispatch.
Correct.
John, thank you again for being on the show. And right now, we're going to look at this month's animal care tip.
There's always lots of activity going on during the summertime. Doors are opening and closing all the time, and one of the big things that comes up during the summer, of course, is 4th of July. You want to make sure that your animals are brought inside, placed into a separate room with perhaps a radio on to relieve their anxiety, and you want to make sure that your animal has identification. You want to make sure that your animal is microchipped. You want to make sure that there are tags on the collar with your name and phone number and perhaps an alternate number, and you want to be able to know where your animal is at all times. In addition to keeping your animal inside, the other thing you want to make sure you do is you don't take your animal out to festivities where there might be loud noises and loud crowds. And of course, always keep your animal on a leash. If you do lose your animal, there are several things that you can do that we can help. You can go to our website at okc.gov/animal welfare. There we place a picture of every animal that comes into this shelter. You can also report a found or lost pet on that very same website. In addition to looking on our website, come into the shelter every few days. We're open 7 days a week from noon to 5:45. Have a safe and happy summer.
You know, I give, and it's just never enough.
Seriously?
When people take you for granted, what can you do?
Water the grass, not the street.
Using drought-tolerant plants, watering early in the morning, adding some mulch, it's not that hard. If we want to use our water wisely, we got to squeeze more out of every drop.
Squeezeeverydrop.com. Oh, I gotta go. I got a date with a lake.
Did you know that the arts make a significant impact on education, the economy, and our quality of life in Oklahoma? Providing more than 10,000 jobs statewide, filtering more than $314 million into our economy? Yes, the arts create all kinds of beautiful things. And making Oklahoma an even better place to live is the most beautiful thing of all. It doesn't take a big donation to make big things happen. Support Allied Arts today. A little give is all it takes.
Doesn't that feel good? We'll keep those little buggies off you.
Buying pesticides each year can add up. I bet you have leftovers.
But I never know when I might need them.
So many, something's gotta go. I know it's tough,
But
it's just not safe to store so many chemicals. Just take them to Oklahoma City's Household Hazardous Waste Collection Facility. They'll take care of everything. Hey, is that another bottle? Get more info at okc.gov.
If you want to adopt any of the animals that you saw on today's show, you can come down to the shelter. We're open 7 days a week, and we're open from 12 to 5:45. The address is 2811 Southeast 29th Street. So far on the show, you've met some amazing dogs, but we didn't want to forget that June is actually Adopt a Cat Month at the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter. With me right now is a beautiful tuxedo kitten. She's 3 months old, and she is just like the other animals that we have available for adoption. To help you consider adopting a cat in the month of June, we are offering half-price kittens, and any cats over the age of 6 months are free. So if you were thinking of adopting a cat, June is the perfect time to do that. You can also help celebrate Adopt a Cat Month by making sure that your cat never ends up in the animal shelter as well. Spay neuter them, vaccinate them, keep them indoors, and most importantly, love them every day. We thank you so much for watching our show, and we look forward to bringing more editions of Animal Tales TV to you, the show of Oklahoma City animals and the people who love them.
That's a wrap, Rumble.